Tonight on Frankie's Test Kitchen, we're gonna make an old family favorite recipe. It's the very first thing that I ever learned to make. It's meatballs with a red sauce. My grandma would call this gravy because the sauce has so much meat in it that it kind of feels brown almost. And so this is a thing that happened all the time in my house as a kid. And we've made this before on Frankie's Test Kitchen, but people have requested the recipe, and so here we are. And you can't make this without red wine, and so we want to thank our friends from Sutter Home who sent us some wine. So, thank you. So there's only a handful of ingredients in this whole thing. There is an egg, there's a mixture of Parmesan Reggiano and Pecorino Romano cheeses, but you could use either one or whichever. This is Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, minced garlic. This is half a pound of the inside of pork sausage. One half of it is sweet Italian sausage, one half of it is hot. So it's a quarter pound of each of those things. Makes half a pound of the insides of sausage. And this is 1 pound of fatty ground beef, like 80-20 ground beef. We need these San Marzano, whole San Marzano tomatoes, which we'll squash up to make the sauce, crush with my hands, and fresh basil. And then we're gonna use olive oil. You can also toss some balsamic vinegar or red pepper flakes in the sauce. That's up to you. But so those are our ingredients. And so I've got my beef and my sausage and an egg in here, and I'm gonna put some garlic in. Now, how much garlic you put in there is up to you. That's maybe a tablespoon and a half. Call it a heaping tablespoon. Now I'm gonna put some breadcrumbs in. How much? That's a handful. What does a handful look like? It's up to you. Same thing with the cheese. What does it look like? It's up to you. Because at the end of the day, all of these ingredients work well together. You're not gonna put too much of anything in here. You know, a little more, a little less. It's okay. And then you mix it around with your hands, and then we're gonna make meatballs on this platter right here, on this tray, if you will, this baking sheet. We're gonna put a little olive oil down, make meatballs, put them in the oven. And so we've preheated our oven, by the way, to the hottest it gets. Mine is about 525 degrees. So you want it as hot as it goes. So I've made the meatballs into little balls. Yeah, there's 12 of them. And so now I'm gonna toss them in the oven for 8 minutes, then I'm gonna take them out, give them a flip. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So I've got 4 28-ounce cans of whole San Marzano tomatoes. I'm going to put them in a bowl. I'm gonna squish them up with my hands, and then I'm gonna put them in the big pot, add some grated cheese, add some minced garlic and some basil, and set it on low, and that's it. Now you can add other things. You can put red pepper flakes, you could put balsamic vinegar, you could put red wine in it, you could put caramelized onions in it. You can go crazy and do 1,000 things, but I'm gonna keep it very simple. So squish up the tomatoes with your hands, put them in the pot, set it on low, and add some things. Here's another tip. If you have the time to allow this to reduce for a while, I take a can of water that is about 28 more ounces of water from the tomato can, put it in there, stir it around. So I've just pulled them out of the oven after 8 minutes. I'm gonna give them a flip, and I'm gonna put them back in for 7 more minutes, these meatballs here. So the meatballs have cooked for about 15 total minutes, and now I'm taking them out, I'm scooping them into the sauce. I'm gonna stir them in a little bit, and then I'm gonna put on the lid, kind of like this. And now, after this, you just kind of let it hang out. You stir it every once in a while. But you can eat this whenever you want, but the longer you let them cook together, the better this is gonna taste. The meatballs, they love the sauce, and the sauce, it loves the meatballs. And so together it's wonderful. So we kind of put the lid on a little bit, you know, kind of tilted like this so they're still...
What's the temperature on?
Very low, very low. I've got it on. And so
Perfect.
when we just cook it, we don't want it to start boiling. If it's boiling, it's too high. And then you just, like I said, stir it occasionally. And later on, we're gonna make some pasta, and that's the whole thing. So the last step in this, you can just take your pasta, toss it in a bowl, toss the sauce on top, toss a meatball on it, and serve it, certainly. But the last step to make it really good is that I'll take a bowl of my pasta until it is just before done, I take it out, I put aside a little pasta water, and then I will toss my pasta in a pan with some sauce and some cheese, and give it a minute or 2 minutes just to kind of become friends. And then we'll put it in a bowl, put some grated cheese on it, put a meatball on it, and serve it. So this is the very last step. I do this 1 serving at a time, by the way. Well, thank you for tuning into Frankie's Test Kitchen this week, where we made meatballs. And so, right there. Thank you to Grandma for teaching me how to make them. Thank you to Sutter Home for providing us with this wine. And thank you to Robert for coming over.
We had a friend come.
Thank you. It's a simple recipe, but it is delicious, and it reminds me of home. So we thought for the holidays, we would make it once again. So enjoy, make those meatballs, and tag us in the posts.